Hello students, I'm going to explain the rest part of the story, Michelangelo. Now, how did he find the faces for Mary and Judas and baby Jesus also when he was carving a Madonna of Bruges? So, the easiest one was to find the face of Mary. Long back, he saw his mother carrying 2 pots of hot water for his father's bath. He thought that Mary would have looked like his mother only, thin and frail, and the warmth she had on the face resembled that of Mary. So he made sketches of her face and used it as Mary. When he was carving Madonna of Bruges, which is a marble structure of Mary with infant Jesus, he recalled an incident at Bologna. He used the sketches of a small, poor, homeless child whom he met in Bologna many years back to make the little Jesus. The incident was deeply engraved in his mind. Michelangelo remembered that when he was living in Bologna, his father used to visit an eatery which was at the corner of his house. His father used to sit inside, and Angelo used to sit outside the eatery. And he saw that every day he saw the same scene. Across the road, peanut vendor was there, and he used to sell hot peanuts, and every time he weighed hot peanuts, few of them used to drop down. So he saw that a small poor boy, every time the vendor weighed those peanuts, and when a few of the pieces fell down, the boy used to run across the road, pick those peanut up and quietly pop or take one of the peanut inside his mouth and give the rest to the peanut vendor. So he kept on doing this every time. So it kept on repeating. He waited for the next customer to come and ask for the peanut, and again the same thing happened repeatedly. So Angelo was fascinated by this time. He thought that the boy was not a thief, but but probably didn't have money. So on one side of him made him steal one piece, and the good side of him made him return the rest peanut. So despite of all these, the innocence of the child's face attracted him, and he made several sketches of the child, and he used his face as the face of infant Jesus in the statue. In the statue which he had made, the statue of Madonna at Bruges. So he succeeded in finding the faces of Mary, Jesus, but still the face of Judas eluded him. He did not know from where he will get to see the face of Judas, as he was a very evil character. So now Angelo, but he was not able to find, and he became very restless. He was bored of this fresco work as well as of the place. He wanted to finish this work and get rid of painting and move back to sculpting, because he had passion for sculpting and not for painting. But his imagination failed each time he tried to visualize face of Judas. Then one day he found his Judas also. He was sitting inside a dark and dirty eatery in Rome, and he noticed that a man who was quite young, but he had become bald, and he was very energetic and had very bright eyes. And then the man came closer to him and asked for a change of a florin. That's a coin. And then slowly he started talking with him and became friendly, and in the end they ended up sharing food with each other. So then Angelo moved away from that place. He had his, and he moved away from there, sitting a little far away from there. And then he noticed that the man again took out a florin, and when the next customer came, he again asked him for the change and started conversing with him. And slowly then he, out of courtesy, the person might have asked him to share the food, and he started sharing the food. So Michelangelo thought, now got to know, he understood that the man did this purposely. This was his way of getting or sharing others' food. So immediately Angelo felt that Judas, this was the man. This was the face that he was looking for. And he thought that Judas must also have been like this shrewd man. So he asked him to accompany him to the chapel. He showed him his work, all the work, and he said, and he explained to the man that in your face I could see Judas, so I want to use you as my model. And if you agree, then it will make you immortal, because your painting will be there on the walls and you will become immortal. But as the person was poor also, so he thought that that didn't matter him more. The thing that mattered him more was money, which he needed desperately. So he said that, okay, I'll become your model, but what will I get in return? Then he said that I need a certain large amount of money. He said he had asked for, and Michelangelo agreed to give him that money. So when this arrangement was made, every day that man used to come to Michelangelo's studio, and he used to sit there, and Michelangelo used to do his work. So one day this man was in Michelangelo's studio, and he saw certain sketches, the pile of sketches which Michelangelo had made, and he was just looking through that, and suddenly he stopped. He paused at the picture of a small poor wife, and he inquired Angelo that who that child was, and where did he meet the child. So and what was the name of the child. So Angelo told him that, yes, I clearly remember this boy. I met him at Bologna, and he told him the story, and he said, yes, I remember his name, and his name was Marcellini. Hearing this, the man smiled. He rolled up his sleeve and showed Michelangelo his arm, and the name Marcellini was tattooed on his arm. So he said that, I'm the same boy whom you had met in Bologna, and that small boy which used to pick peanut and take one pop inside my mouth and give the rest to him. So that was my way of surviving. So from childhood, as I was homeless, that situation taught me to be like this, and slowly it became my habit. So that was the only thing which I learned, how to survive. I needed food, and this was the way I used to get food, and even now I take food from others. So it made Michelangelo think that how a circumstances changes a person. It was the same person whose innocence in the face made him look like Jesus. And he had used the same person's face for carving Jesus, infant Jesus. And this man, when he grew up, he became an evil character which matched as that of Judas. So this story also teaches us that how a circumstances make a good person, turn a good person, innocent person also, an evil person. The survival, the main reason is how to survive in the world. So these circumstances forced him to become an evil person. So that was the irony of the situation at that time, when Michelangelo used the same person's face as small Jesus and as Judas, whom he was looking for so many years. So children, that's the story about this, and I think the message and the story is clear to you. So there are certain words which were used in this chapter, which all the meanings are already given in your chapter. It's mentioned there, if you can see. Frescoes only I would like to explain you that it is a painting on a wall or a ceiling which is painted while the plaster is still wet. That is known as frescoes. Otherwise, I think all the words are clear. If you have any doubt, you can again ask me, message me, and the next I'm going to give you the assignments. So look at the assignment which is there and do it in your notebook. Children, it's the message was already sent, but again I'm telling you, whichever copy you have, old or new, or if you don't have old also, you can do it on any sheet and keep it with you, all the assignment which I'm giving you at the end of the chapter. Okay, now let's see the assignment. The first assignment is complete the following sentence. Rome had begun to bore Michelangelo because. Second is Michelangelo had found Mary with ease when he saw. Third, Michelangelo had refused to paint the frescoes for the Sistine Chapel because. The next one, Michelangelo found his Judas in a dash where he was dash. E. Michelangelo was taken aback when his Judas dash. Next is reference to context. So we'll do the second reference to context, that is the sight fascinated Angelo. Where was Michelangelo sitting? What was the sight that fascinated Michelangelo? What influence did the sight have on Michelangelo? Second is, why do you love stone so much? Why not canvas and colors? Who spoke these lines? What was Michelangelo's response to the question given above? Where exactly did Michelangelo's genius fail him? So these two RTCs you need to do. And the next question is, what work had Michelangelo been assigned by the Pope? Then next is that what problem did Michelangelo face in Rome? How and where did Michelangelo find the inspiration for Virgin Mary? Why did Michelangelo agree to paint Sistine Chapel? And what, according to you, is the central idea of the story? That's all for this chapter. I hope you won't find any difficulty in answering these questions. Do the question, and in my next class I'll be taking your English language grammar portion, the first chapter. Till then, bye.